Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something really fascinating. How you build a service business, like from scratch, all the way up to hitting that $1 million mark. And our guide for this is really this amazing playbook based on the insights of Omar Kharbat, the founder of Boots and Ladders. I mean, this guy's story is pretty wild. 35 years doing this. Started as a carpet cleaner,
Yeah, just imagine.
completed over 15,000 jobs, hired and trained, over 500 people. He's seen it all: business exits, being broke, even lawsuits, the whole roller coaster.
Definitely the full ride.
But he has this core belief, right? You only need to be right once to succeed. So our mission today is pretty clear. We want to pull out the absolute best, most practical stuff from Omar's experience. And this is really for you listening. Maybe you're just thinking about a service idea, or you've got a side hustle you want to grow, or you're aiming big and want to scale.
Exactly. And I think what's really cool about this deep dive is it's not just a random list of tips. It's more like a shortcut. You get the whole picture, the entire life cycle of a service business. We're connecting the dots, so you don't just know what to do, but like why it actually matters. From lighting that very first customer all the way to building something that, scales up and runs smoothly.
Okay, let's dive right in then. The absolute beginning. Someone's maybe just out of high school or changing careers. What's the foundational advice for just taking that first step?
Well, Omar's starting point sounds simple, but it's deep. Find a real problem and try to solve it. But it's not always the big, obvious problem he found. It's often the thing people don't even articulate they need. So two things there. A, get hands-on experience. You just learn so much faster doing the work.
Yeah.
And B, connect the dots. See what people really need, what you're actually good at. It's about observation, really. Quiet observation.
Right, observation. But, okay, there are so many service options out there. How do you pick a niche without just trying everything and, wasting a ton of time? That seems like a big hurdle.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
How do you narrow it down? Omar's strategy is pretty practical. Look at what people are already paying for. What's in demand right now? You don't necessarily need some brand new invention. He says just take an existing service and figure out how to do it, better or faster or just more reliably than the other guys. Often the innovation is in the how, not the what. Like think about services people complain about all the time. That's usually a good place to start looking.
Okay, that makes sense. Do it better. So I'm really curious about Omar's very first step. How did he actually get that first bit of confidence, that first job? What was the move?
Yeah, this is brilliant. He started super small, super accessible, right at home. He literally just rented a carpet cleaning machine. Clean his own apartment. They did his sister's place. And boom, that simple thing did two massive things for him. One, he got real before and after photos he could use for marketing, like actual proof. And maybe even more important, it gave him the confidence boost. He knew he could actually do the work before asking strangers to pay him. He proved it to himself first.
Okay, so he's got the confidence, he's got the photos. How did he then start getting actual calls, getting the wheel turning? What were those early marketing pushes like?
Well, his original way was pure hustle, like
Yeah.
old school aggressive. He literally hit the streets, going into restaurants, motels, apartment buildings, handing out flyers, sticking up yard signs. He said he was just selling 24/7.
Wow, nonstop.
Yeah. Now, if you were starting today, he'd adapt, obviously. Use the digital tools. He'd say, get professional photos with your tools. Research the right keywords for your service online. Write really clear offers. Then list everywhere. Google Places, Nextdoor, Facebook, Instagram, all those local platforms.
Makes sense.
But here's the kicker. He strongly advises skipping the whole social media blogging thing. Let other people talk about you. Your job is just to deliver amazing service on time. Outstanding results. He says, your work should market itself. And get this statistic.
Yeah.
Even with everything digital, he found word of mouth still drives 74% of service sales. 74%.
Whoa.
Google only gets you about 10%.
That is genuinely surprising. You hear so much about needing a huge online presence, SEO, ads.
Right. It really challenges that. Focus on the quality first.
So, okay, even with hustle, there are going to be slow weeks, right?
Yeah.
Especially early on. What did Omar do during that downtime? He couldn't just sit around.
No, definitely not. He was smart about it. He actually kept a day job while he was building the business on the side.
Okay. Smart.
So during the slow periods for his own business, he wasn't idle. He'd be out passing around his W-9 form, that's the tax form for contractors, and his general liability insurance certificate, especially to commercial clients.
Yeah.
They almost always need that stuff. It shows you're professional and covered if something goes wrong.
Right. Builds trust.
Exactly. And for today, he suggests using tools like AI. GPT or similar models. Use them to quickly research what customers expect, what your value proposition is like, what makes you the better choice. His advice is always be learning, mastering my product and sharpening my offers. Keep refining.
Okay, let's talk about something critical and often tricky. Pricing. How should someone new to this figure out what to charge? I feel like you could easily get it wrong.
Yeah, pricing is huge. He sees three common ways contractors do it. One is based on what it's worth to the customer, but that's really subjective, hard to pin down. Two is just charging enough to pay the bills. That keeps the lights on, maybe, but you're not really growing.
Right, just surviving.
Exactly. So Omar is a big believer in the third way, the cost-plus method. This is the one that actually scales because you account for everything. Think of it like baking a cake. You add up the cost of ingredients, that's your materials, then the time you spent, that's labor. Any cleanup, dump fees, stuff like that, plus your overhead insurance, tools, van payments, whatever. And then on top of all that, you add your profit margin.
Okay, so it's systematic.
Totally. It guarantees you make money on every job, hopefully.
Yeah.
And it's a formula you can actually teach an employee later. This way, you're building a real business, he says, not just a hustle. The danger with the other methods is you often end up undercharging. You're busy, but you're not actually making enough to sustain or grow.
So thinking about his whole 35-year roller coaster, what did he see as the main reasons businesses like this actually fail? What are the big pitfalls we should be aware of?
Yeah, having been through the ringer himself, being broke, facing lawsuits, he has a clear view on this. He points to 5 main things. First, your offer just isn't in demand anymore. The market changed, you didn't. Second, your pricing is off. Either too low to make money or too high so nobody hires you.
The pricing trap again.
Always. Third, you're just not reaching out. No marketing, no networking, leads dry up. Fourth, buying stuff you don't need, wasting money on shiny tools or ads that don't work. Cash flow killer. The 5th one is interesting. He calls it personality lacks chivalry.
Chivalry. Okay, that's not a word you hear in business advice every day. What does he mean by that? Like being polite?
It's more than just politeness, though that's part of it. It's about respect, integrity, going the extra mile, even when it's a pain. It's solving the customer's actual problem without making it your drama. Being reliable, being honest, treating every single interaction as a chance to build trust. He saw businesses tank because the owners were just rude, or they cut corners, or they didn't show up on time, or just didn't seem to care once they got paid. It's the opposite of being transactional. It's relationship building.
Got it. So focus on the relationship, not just the job. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. You've got the basics down. Maybe you're getting a few calls. How do you bridge that gap? Go from just sporadic jobs to like steady work that actually pays the bills and feels like a real business. How do you build that momentum?
Right, that's the crucial next stage. Omar's big strategy here is summed up in one word: productize.
Productize.
Yeah. And specifically, if the phone isn't ringing enough, he suggests finding what he calls a 99 burger.
A 99 burger, like McDonald's.
Kind of. It's a low-ticket, high-demand service. Something simple that lots of people need fairly often. Think basic lawn mowing, maybe fixing a leaky faucet, furniture assembly, quick appliance fixes, stuff like that. It might not make you rich on its own, right? But it keeps the phone ringing. It gets new customers in the door. It builds trust and momentum. He always says, Rome wasn't built in a day. Buckle up and enjoy the journey. It's about building that base brick by brick.
Okay, so the 99 burger gets your foot in the door, but you need more profitable stuff too, right? How do you layer those in?
Exactly. That's where you add what he calls high-ticket emergency items. But you productize these two. Make them clear. Packaged offers. These are the urgent things, the stuff people need fixed now and will pay more for. He gives examples like, say, drain cleaning for maybe $400, or a water heater replacement for $1,200, AC repair for $300. The key is, even for these urgent jobs, you present them clearly. Include a photo of what the finished job looks like, the definite price, and a detailed description of what the customer should expect. What's included, what's not.
Transparency builds trust, even in an emergency.
Precisely.
So we talked about digital listings, but what about professionalizing your presence in the physical world, face-to-face marketing?
A good question. He recommends creating a physical profile folder.
Okay, like a brochure.
A bit more than that. It's a really professional package you can actually hand-deliver to key people. Think property managers, HOA offices, commercial real estate folks. Inside, you have a one-page summary that mirrors your best online profile. Your picture, your company mission, a couple of really strong testimonials, clear contact info, maybe a QR code that links straight to your website or booking page. And crucially, include your W-9 and proof of